Welcome to the 28th Angle podcast, where your host, Shelley,
Victoria,
and Heather
are here to hang out, have some fun, and share our different perspectives on a variety of topics. So let's get into it.
Hey guys.
Hey. Happy hump day.
So how did your weeks go?
it was all right. Nothing special. Work was a little crazy. Not bad though. Not terrible. I didn't really do anything. A lot of getting ready for back to school stuff. Trying to get my kids back in routine and meet the teachers and school shopping. You know, all the fun, not fun parenting things.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been doing the same thing. So my kids are rough to get back into the routine of going to sleep at a decent time.
Yeah.
It seems like this summer went by so fast for them, you know?
I'm sure they feel that way too, but I don't feel that way.
You know. I'm sure they agree with you.
We have not done a lot this week. This past weekend we had our little get together on Saturday where we spent, right? That was this past weekend, right? Where we spent the weekend at the pool. We
celebrated my mom's birthday, or our mom's birthday, mine and Heather's, at a resort. So that was fun. You know, I got to hang out in the cabanas. For all you non-Florida people, that's not a hotel room. No, I'm kidding. Inside joke. There was a couple of people in our little group here that didn't grow up in Florida that apparently didn't know what a cabana was. So, or cabana, I don't know. Yeah. So,
wasn't me.
Wayne and
Wayne.
Oh, really?
They thought it was the room,
the hotel room. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shelly missed that apparently. She was with us, guys. We promise.
Yeah, she was there. But yeah, it was fun. We all got cabanas and we chilled and relaxed by the pool, and the kids had a blast.
Very hot.
It was so hot. Yeah, but it's been that
hot,
way.
Not as hot as I expected it to be.
No,
I think it was supposed to be hotter.
It was actually a nice day to be out in the pool. Like it wasn't too hot like it has been.
Yeah.
So
and the rain stayed away because it's been raining nonstop since we got back.
I really think it was
it was a perfect weekend.
It was a perfect weekend to do that. Yeah, we had a blast. My kids had a blast. So Wayne found his new favorite taco place. So there's that. I've heard about it every day since. So
at least you're not terribly far from it. Like if that was one of our favorite places, we'd be screwed.
I know. We went to Target over there today. And he's like, we're really close. We should go get tacos. I was like, no.
Real quick.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Great. So that was a great weekend. So today, our episode is going to be about myths and legends. You know, all those stories that we heard growing up, stuff like that. I have some stories that I got from Canada, which I'm not sure if you guys have heard any of them. And they have stories from probably here in Florida and around the States, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, mine are from all over, but one is from Florida.
So we're going to get to it, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So if you guys have any myths and stuff that you want to tell us about, make sure to leave a comment and let us know. Victoria, you're up.
I'm up. So, I think I was having a conversation with Wayne about this, and just saying myth and legends is such a broad term that it could be used for so many things. But I think one of my favorite things are cryptids, and so I'm not even sure if you guys are aware of most of them are cryptids and things like that. So I kind of wanted to give a definition of cryptids just in case other people out there don't
looked it up today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I was like, what is that word? Yeah.
So funny thing is I actually looked it up because my third one that I have says it's a cryptid.
Yeah, one of mine says that too. That's funny.
They're all cryptids. Mine are all cryptids, but most creatures like Bigfoot, all those stuff, would be considered cryptids. And it's funny, if I had my work phone on here, I'd show you, but I have like cryptid stickers and all that stuff on my work phone and all that stuff. So a lot of Mothman ones actually is the stickers I have. But so cryptids are creatures whose existence is rumored but unproven by science.
Mhm.
Think Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or Florida's own skunk ape. They live in a blurry space between folklore and fringe zoology, often fueled by eyewitness accounts, grainy photos, and late night camp stories. So, some cryptids are terrifying, some are hilarious, and some are just oddly specific. Whether they're ancient legends or modern internet obsessions, cryptids reflect our deepest fears, wildest imaginations, and the universal thrill of asking, what if it is real? So, with that, I will get into my first one. And my first one is going to be from Florida because I just thought, why not? Since we're in Florida, I looked up the skunk ape. Have you guys ever heard of the skunk ape?
Nope, I haven't.
It sounds familiar, but I've never like looked into it or figured out what it was.
So, yeah, so the skunk ape is a Bigfoot-like cryptid said to roam the swamps of the southeastern U.S., especially Florida. I think it's in the Everglade area is a big part of it. It stands about 7 feet tall and weighs up to 500 pounds, and it's covered in reddish brown hair. So the name comes from its unholy stench, described as a mix of wet dog, skunk,
Ugh.
and rotting garbage. So,
Gross.
yeah. So, yeah, it lives deep in the Everglades, especially around Mayaka State Park, which we have been there, right?
Oh yeah, that's where we
That's
were.
where we were. Yeah, that's what I thought.
6 years ago.
Yeah. For our birthday, we went there 6 years ago. And we camped there for the weekend, and then something very bad happened.
That's where
Yeah.
we were?
Yeah, that's where we were.
Oh.
So yeah, it's known around, it's like it says, deep in the Everglades, but it's especially around that park that we were camping at. So I thought that was
That's
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah, because we didn't know that then.
Yeah,
we could have been
definitely
looking
not.
for the skunk ape.
Maybe that's what got into someone's cooler.
Yeah, that's funny. So it prefers swampy terrain, which makes it hard to track and easy to smell before you see it. There's actually a skunk ape research headquarters that's run by a guy named Dave Shealy, if I'm saying that correct. And I'm definitely not going to say the town right because Florida has really crazy town names, but Ocheope, Florida. I'm sure I said that crazy, but you guys can figure it out. Ochoppee. So, which, he sells footprint cast merch and enough cryptid lore to keep your podcast fueled for weeks, it says. So, some of the sightings that I want to go over is in 2000, there was a Florida family that claimed a hairy beast climbed into their back deck, grunted like a swamp ogre, and then left behind a stench that could peel paint. They snapped a photo and it went viral among cryptid fans. So I didn't get to look up the photo, but yeah, it's interesting. So that was in 2000. And then of course, Dave Shealy himself, he self-proclaims himself as the Jane Goodall of skunk apes. So he filmed one in 2000 sprinting through the swamp. He claims it ran 22 miles per hour through a foot of water, but skeptics say that it looked suspiciously like a guy in a gorilla suit. So it's funny. And there's actually let's see, one, it's like the earliest one that I could find was 1823. But then there was, 1929, 1942. I'm not going to go through all of them. But there was the biggest jump was 1973. And then the next one is 2000, which is the one I had mentioned. But the latest one was 2021. And it occurred just behind the Skunk Ape Research Center. And I think it was Sheely that also had seen that one. So uh, who knows, really, from that guy? But he has a whole research center about it. So
Yeah, that's
must be
insane.
doing well for himself.
Yeah, must be.
Florida skunk gate. It's like Florida's Bigfoot. So Shelly, you want to go next?
Yes. Okay. Little description. The water is still tonight. Moonlight glints off the surface of Okanagan Lake, turning it into a sheet of liquid silver. The air is calm, too calm, and the only sound is the soft lap of water against the shore. Then, without warning, the lake shudders. From the darkness, a long black shape rises. First one hump, then another, gliding silently through the water like a shadow with eyes. A head emerges, horse like yet alien, dripping with lake water, watching from just beyond the reach of the shoreline lights. Locals say you could Locals say you should never cross a lake without making an offering. Those who didn't, well, their stories sink to the bottom, where the Ogopogo waits. Some call it a
Okay.
monster, some call it a spirit, but everyone who's seen it calls it unforgettable. So that was just a little description. So I know some people, you guys probably never heard of the Ogopogo. It's a monster of the Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada, which is like their Loch Ness monster type in their lake. So it's deep in the waters of Okanagan Lake, British Columbia, lurks a creature that locals have whispered about for centuries. The Ogopogo, known for the indigenous Syilx Okanagan people as spirit of the lake. It was once viewed as a powerful and sacred guardian, not a menace. Early traditions spoke of offering tobacco, fish, or other gifts before crossing its waters to ensure safe passage. European settlers reimagined the story as a dangerous lake serpent, a smooth, dark skinned creature stretching 40 to 50 feet long, with humps breaking the surface and a head described as part horse, part snake, and sometimes even sheep like. The name Ogopogo first appeared in the 1920s, inspired by British music hall song. British music hall song? I don't know. Notable sightings. So in 1872, Susan Allison was the first recorded settler account described a long snake-like moving around through the lake. In 1926, multiple witnesses reported a mass sighting from passengers on the SS Sycamus ferry. Same with Canada. British Columbia has a lot of like um indigenous names for towns
Did
and
it
stuff.
like eat people? Is that why they have it? Yeah,
That's why they
give
had
it
to
an
do an
offering?
offering before they
Yeah,
crossed.
it said before they cross, otherwise they'd be sunk to the bottom of the lake.
Oh,
Um, in 1968, Art Folden film footage showing the lake wake in calm waters with something seemingly moving beneath the surface. Skeptics blamed logs or swimming animals, but believers saw it was undeniable proof. There was footage in the
I bet it
80s,
was a log.
or beaver.
Right.
Right.
Visitors captured moving humps in the lake, sparking national news coverage. Theories range from otters to waves, but interest in Ogopogo exploded. Modern day, sporadic reports still trickle in with photos and shaky videos fueling debates between skeptics and believers. Today, Ogopogo is more than a cryptic creature, and this is I had the same thing you have, where they're said to exist but never proven by science.
Yeah, that's what a
It's a
cryptid is.
cultural
Yeah.
it's a cultural island, a cultural icon. Kelowna, where it's is also a town in British Columbia. It boasts a lakeside statue. Souvenir shops sell plush toys and shirts, and creatures even appear on the Canadian postage stamp. I haven't seen that stamp. Yet every time the water ripples the right way, locals can't help but wonder if the legendary monster is still patrolling its deep, cold home. I've actually driven past the Lake Okanagan, so
Did you see any logs?
I
Beavers?
was looking. You know, it's a pretty big lake from what I remember. So, but yeah. So, but I just love the name Ogopogo. Like, if you've ever lived on the west coast of Canada, you've heard that name.
That's funny.
So,
Interesting.
Heather.
So I feel like my first one kind of, in my opinion, I guess rides the line between a legend and I don't know, whatever. Anyways, my first one is from Casadega, which is known as the psychic capital of the world in Florida here. Someplace that I really, really want to go visit and plan to visit one day. We need to like
You should.
trip and go. Like I
How
know a
far
lot
away
of
is it?
it's over there by Daytona. It's only like 2 hours
Oh.
away or something, 2.5 hours away or something. It's not far.
We could literally plan that for any weekend then.
That's what I'm saying. Like we just need to
We
plan a
should.
weekend and go. It's not that. I'm sure even hotels over there aren't that bad.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we need to.
No ghost things, right?
All ghost things.
Did you just read what this
She
town
didn't
is, Shelley?
She didn't listen.
Would you like
at
me
all.
to
Said-
repeat it?
You said it was a psychic, right?
Capital of Florida.
Psychic capital of Florida.
Casadega is known as the psychic capital of the world with a long history of spiritualism and paranormal activity. Tucked away in the Lake Helen Casadega Cemetery.
You guys
Well,
already
you didn't read that.
You heard her
No.
agree, right? It's too late. There's no
she
going
already
back. She
agreed
said,
to it.
"Let's
She
do
said,
it."
Let's
So
go. Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
agree.
she's in.
She
She's
already
locked.
said it.
No take
Oh,
backs.
dear. Oh boy.
Right on the air, guys. So no turn back, Shelley.
You literally have proof. Okay. Anyways, so tucked away in Lake Helen and Casadega Cemetery is a brick and mortar chair, often called the Devil's Chair. So the legend is that this chair was okay. So I guess the purpose of this chair was likely built as a mourner's seat. So in the early 1900s, people would visit graves. When they were visiting graves, they would sit and rest on that seat.
chair.
That's what it was meant for. Yeah, it's like
Oh.
I assume it's like a steel or something. Like it's
Yeah.
stuck there into the ground. It's a brick and mortar
Right.
chair. And so I guess the legend is that there's three different things that happen there, I guess. So one's called midnight meeting. If you sit at the chair at midnight, the devil himself will appear next to you.
Yeah, I want to go sit in the chair at midnight.
Some say, me too. Some say he whispers temptations or offers dark bargains. Others claim that you'll feel a heavy, oppressive presence pushing down on you. So that's one of them. The second one is called beer with the devil. If you leave an unopened can of beer on the chair overnight, it'll be empty in the morning without the tab even being pulled. Some
There's some
insist
homeless guy around messing with you.
He's shotgunning those beers.
Some insist that the devil's drinking it, and others say it's a ghostly trick. But yeah, there is, on the skeptical side of that, there is people saying the beer disappearing could be a result of local pranksters, condensation tricks, or animals.
Let's start this rumor so like we'll get free beer every night.
I would do that. Yeah.
And so the third one is the unseen conversation. It says visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, laughter, and growls when sitting there alone at night. In some tellings, the quote-unquote devil is more of a dark spirit or trickster than a biblical figure.
So I'll be in the room while you guys go do that.
You have to come with us, Shelley. Anyways,
you don't have to sit on it at midnight. You should have to be with us, Shelley. You can stand.
Although it does say we need to be alone, though. So I mean,
so I guess she's lucky. Okay, fine.
You might get away with it at midnight, but not the rest
stand
of the
across
time.
the street, Shelley.
In the car.
Maybe.
So I'll just read one of the first eyewitnesses, like a mini story. It says the cold whisperer. I thought it was just a dumb local legend, so I sat down just to prove my friends wrong. About 30 seconds in, I felt something cold brush against my neck, like someone was leaning over me. I turned and there was no one there, but I swear I heard someone breathe my name.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Shelley would be crying when we met back up with her.
I know.
Oh, man.
There's another one that says, we were walking past the cemetery at night and saw someone sitting in the chair. But when we got closer, the figure just vanished. No footsteps, no sounds. The seat was still warm when we touched it.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. So
Nope.
I want to go visit it. I think it would be
I like
cool.
that it's a
Have
chair.
fun.
That's cool.
I've always wanted to go to Casadega. I didn't realize there was like a legend type seat thing there.
Right
So,
there. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Shelly, you're up again.
You're up.
No, me? Is it me? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be you.
So we're probably going to have time for 2 of them at this point then, you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
So I'm going to choose, I'm going to say the other one that I have, but I'm not going to go into it. So I had one that's called the Wampus Cat. And I picked it because it's from the Appalachian Mountains, which, we just did a whole thing on. So it's like a half cat, half human. And it was part of the curse of a form of a Cherokee woman named Running Deer who defied tribal laws and blah, 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 blah. So she's got like powers and stuff. So it's actually, this one's like really in depth, but I just thought it was cool because we had just did an episode on the Appalachian stuff.
Yeah.
So it kind of tied to that. So that one is called the Wampus Cat. But the one I'm going to go into now is called, and I might say this wrong, but it's called the Altamahaha. So it's funny, which is kind of why I wanted to go into it. People call it Alti because, who wants to say Altamahaha over and over?
Right.
But it's basically Georgia's answer to the Loch Ness Monster. It's got just the right mix of swampy mystery and southern folklore to it. So what is it? It's a serpentine river monster, and it's said to inhabit the Altamahaha River or the Altamaha River. So, which is obviously where it gets its name. And it's around southeastern Georgia, especially near Darien. I might say that wrong as well, or McIntosh County. So, it's 30 feet long. It's greenish gray skin. It has a crocodile-like head. It's got flippers instead of legs. And it's often seen just gliding below the surface, creating humps like a submerged sea serpent. It says that it's rooted in Muskogee Creek tribal legends. So that's kind of cool. I don't know why I always tend to find tribal legends. It's just like follows me. Which speaks of giant water serpents that hissed and bellowed from the river. So some believe Alti is a prehistoric survivor, or like an involved alligator type thing, an alligator gar. Some of the most famous sightings are starting from 1920 to the present. So fishermen and boaters have reported seeing a large creature moving through the water, sometimes accompanied by eerie sounds. In 2008, there was a decomposing creature that washed ashore at Wolf Island National Wildlife Refuge, sparking rumors of Alti's death. That's kind of sad.
Oh.
But it later revealed that it was a hoax involving a stuffed shark and a paper mache.
Oh my
wow.
God.
Which is crazy. So ongoing, locals still report sightings, especially in the twisted channels and the abandoned rice fields near the river's mouth. So there are some scientific theories about it as well, obviously, as there always are. Some skeptics suggest sightings may be misidentified manatees, surgeons, or alligator gar, which sounds more than likely, in my opinion. Excuse me. Others argue that the creature's behavior and appearance don't match any known species, which isn't that kind of the point of creatures like this, of a cryptid? I don't know.
Yeah. They don't. Otherwise, they would be considered that.
Right. So I guess it also shows up in the video game South of Midnight, which I had actually never heard of. The Altamahaha is reimagined as a feminine siren-like monster with a tragic backstory. So just some extra little bit of information there for that. Yeah, that's it. So now it would really be Shelley's turn.
Yeah.
And now it's Shelley.
So I know Victoria already kind of like she had her swamp. What do you have? Skunk ape.
That's the
Yeah.
skunk ape.
So this one is called Sasquatch, which I'm sure everybody's heard of it. But
Yeah.
Sasquatch is the man of the Canadian wilderness. So it's Canada's Bigfoot. So deep within the dense, towering forests of British Columbia and beyond, British Columbia is like mountains and big trees. It's beautiful. If you ever get a chance, go. Um, the legends tell of a massive, mysterious creature simply known as Sasquatch, or many call it Bigfoot, but we'll call it Sasquatch. Indigenous people of the Pacific Northwest, including Coast Salish and Halkomelem. I know I'm not saying
Oh
that
yeah.
correctly. I apologize.
Apparently,
They have
there's a Bigfoot everywhere, huh?
they have passed down stories for centuries about a wild man of the forest called Sasquatch, who moves slightly among the ancient trees. Far from just a cryptid, Sasquatch is often seen as a guardian spirit, a protector of the wilderness, and a symbol of nature's untamed power. Descriptions paint Sasquatch as a towering figure standing 6 to 10 feet tall, covered in thick, dark hair. Witnesses say it moves with surprising speed and agility, leaving behind giant footprints, some measuring over 18 inches long. It calls range from eerie howls to guttural screams echoing through the night, unsettling anyone who dares to venture too deep. Over the decades, countless sightings have been reported across Canada's vast forests. One of the most famous pieces of evidence is the Skookum cast, a large impression found in a muddy clearing near the US Canada border, believed by some to be a body imprint of Sasquatch. Photographs and videos surface from time to time, sparking endless debates. Is it real or simply a clever hoax? Um, Skeptics argue these sightings are a case of mistaken identity, bears on hind legs, elusive wildlife, or even elaborate pranks. But believers remain steadfast, drawn to the mystery and the possibility that Canada's wild heart still holds secrets undiscovered. Today, Sasquatch is more than a legend, it's a cultural icon. British Columbia celebrates it with roadside statues. I think I've seen statues of it. Festivals and local tours, it's symbol of wild unknown and a reminder that some parts of nature still resist being tamed or explained. Um Sightings, there's like sightings from the 1950s to like modern day. Um so modern day, even today, occasional reports emerge from hikers, hunters, and outdoor enthusiasts across BC and parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan. These often involved hearing strange vocalizations, finding large footprints, or brief visual encounters in dense forests. There was one in 1964. A couple was driving near a gassy. Oh my goodness. Uh, Agassiz, British Columbia. I don't know. I've never even been there. They reported seeing a large upright figure crossing the road. They described it about 8 feet tall with dark hair and broad shoulders. The figure disappeared quickly into the forest, leaving witnesses shaken but convinced. Can you imagine if you're like driving down the highway and this like giant man thing walks in front of your car? Like,
Yeah, that would be crazy.
oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's about all I have on that guy. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Did you want to briefly describe your third one or just a real
Oh,
quick, like
yeah,
what it was?
I could briefly describe it. Okay, so I did the third one, Paul Bunyan, and everybody's heard of Paul Bunyan. Giant lumberjack from of Canadian and American folklore. So he's really not like he's a figure of a myth and exaggeration. Um,
He's more of a legend then, right?
yeah, like people have never
Yeah.
seen him.
Right.
They say like he made the mountains and the valleys and,
Right.
with his big feet and stuff. And he had
Okay.
his blue ox named Babe the blue ox. Um yeah, like the ox was strong enough to clear entire forest alongside him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I remember like hearing about Paul Bunyan. I think we actually had to do a report on him or something in school. But
It's
I think
crazy.
there's actually like towns that do that have statue like lumberjack towns like Canada
Yeah.
or the West Coast, like British Columbia, like I said, it's all full of trees. That's their foresting area. So like you have a lot of lumberjack towns. Final Destination with the logging trucks.
Yeah.
That's BC. You see a lot of that logging trucks. So
Sounds there. Oh, that's
All
cool.
right. So mine, that was it, Shelly, right? You're done
yep,
with
that's
yours?
it.
Okay. Just didn't want to cut you off. All right. So I am going to well, I'll just do my real quick first, and then I'll go into the one I'll read more about. I was going to do my third one would have been the Fresno Nightcrawler, which is actually originated from
Oh,
Fresno, California. It says it was an odd cryptid,
oh,
unlike anything else in the American folklore. I guess it's more described as like a pale humanoid figure with disproportionary thin legs and a tiny torso. It's almost like walking pants and feet is pretty much how everybody explains
Oh,
it.
weird.
So yeah. So I guess there's a
Creepy.
bunch of sightings and stuff of people seeing it in their yard and finding it on security cameras. I had never heard of it. I
Oh.
just thought it was cool. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard the
So
name, but yeah, I don't know if I knew anything about it. Yeah, that would be cool.
I
yeah.
thought, when you were talking about, there's when you said Nightcrawler, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that, but it was actually the Night Stalker. I'm sorry.
Okay. That was my third one. So the one I'll actually go into is from right here in Florida. It's called the Phantom Alligator of St. John's River. Um,
Oh,
yeah. So I feel like this could just be an alligator, but
I was
who am
about to
I?
say that. I was like,
the
why is
way
it a
they
phantom? There's probably
the
tons of
way
alligators.
the way they explain it and the way they word it, I guess, is why it ends up being like a legend or myth or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it says locals along Locals along stretches of the St. John River have whispered for over a century about a massive jet black alligator, far larger than any recorded gator, that appears only at night, often in dense fog. It is said to have glowing red eyes and emit a deep, low growl that can be heard a half a mile away.
Oh, wow.
But the unnerving detail, it doesn't leave any ripples when it moves through water, and it sometimes appears on land miles away from the river.
So how
So,
do they know it's an alligator?
yeah. So the backstory to it is the earliest known written reference comes from the 1870s from a newspaper in Jacksonville, and it describes an enormous reptile larger than any natural beast in the region, seemingly um, impervious to a musket fire. I guess I really don't know what that is. I assume it's some kind of fishing thing because it says fishermen claimed they'd see it watching them from ashore, only to vanish when they approached. Um, so the couple, obviously, there's skeptical theories, and that's a particularly large alligator
Yeah,
seen under unusual lighting. So that's
that's what
just
I would assume.
honestly probably what I'd go with. But
They probably went to
the red
Gatorland.
eyes and you know what I mean? So I don't know. Some people say it's misidentified manatees, or even a
Oh,
wayward caiman. So I don't
Cayman, I could
know.
see. I don't know though. They're not big, are they?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's what throws it off. But anyways, the eyewitnesses, there's one from 1924 that says a trapper claimed he shot the creature point blank in the head and the bullet bounced off its scales as if it were iron.
Oh.
oh,
Wow.
So, I mean, if that really happened, that's kind of crazy, I guess. But even the last one that I even looked up anyway says 2009, a kayaker swore he saw it on a sandbar, but when he looked down to snap a photo, it was gone, leaving no tracks in the damp sand. So,
Are we sure he
um,
didn't take anything before going on that kayak? Or
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
sounds like a
um,
giant gator, if you ask me.
Yeah, same. In the 1950s, it said campers reported seeing it rise in the fog, glowing eyes to their eye level before it turned and melted into the water without a splash. So that's where the it leaves no ripples or anything in the water comes
Yeah.
from.
Uh,
It says the present day like eyewitness story is it's called the Late Night Caller. It says, "I live upriver near Astor. Last week I heard that growl again, low like thunder rumbling underwater. My dog started howling and it wouldn't stop. People say it's a gator. I've hunted gators my whole life. Whatever that is, it's not normal." So,
Interesting.
Crazy.
Oh, wow.
so I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple more eyewitness stories, but they start at 1924 and go all the way to present day, it says.
So, do you guys believe in any of them?
I mean, I obviously believe in
Mm,
like the devil's chair and
Well,
the
yeah, that
spirits and
one's
ghost ones. That I
yeah.
believe in, yes.
I
All
don't
the
know.
rest, I just think our technology's come so far that like
We should have some clear
we would
pictures of
have
something.
more proof, and I'm definitely
Like
like a proof person. So,
there should be like motion sensor cameras in forests or underwater cameras or whatever. There should be
right,
some
there's like
actual
cameras everywhere now.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's and I get some of them are like deep in the woods and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but to me, it's pretty close to impossible. So, I did have. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know that I believe them either. I mean, I think that there could be things out there that we don't know and that we haven't explored
Oh
or haven't
yeah,
found, but to the
Well,
like
yeah, the
extent
giant
of what some of these are.
creatures
the
and
deepest part of the ocean right now has
yeah.
never been discovered, you know? So
And I think that I mean I love cryptids. I think they're really cool to learn about and to know that, you know, what people come up with. People's imaginations are crazy. So I mean I think
Yeah.
they're fun to talk about and
yeah.
pretend and, you know, what ifs and you know, that kind of stuff. But do I actually believe them? No, probably not, but they're fun. So I have a couple bonus ones that I'm just going to go over real quick and then we'll end our episode there. So, there is, I'm sure most people have heard about this one, but I just think I just like how he looks. And I think there's a WoW pet named after this one too. The Wolpertinger. He's from Germany. So, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
like Frankenstein meets taxidermy. So he's got a rabbit body, deer antlers, bird wings, and fangs. So what's funny about him is he allegedly flirts with beautiful women and lurks in Bavarian forest. So it's funny. And my second bonus one was I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong because it's from the Philippines. Tikbalang. So it's a horse-headed humanoid that loves pranks. So he's known for leading travelers astray in the jungle, but you can outsmart him by wearing your shirt inside out. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
so
Wow.
funny.
I
And
think
then
that warp tinger thing that you're
yeah,
talking about, I could be
Wolpertinger.
wrong, but I think it's a pet that you get during the love the Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
that would make sense. Yeah, I think it is actually. I can't remember, but I can picture it, but I don't know where it actually
Yeah.
came from. And yeah. Okay, and my last one is actually the giant penguin from Florida. So this one's funny because it's so in the 1940s, mysterious 15-inch footprints appeared on Florida beaches. It turns out it was just a prank involving cast iron feet. But they didn't find that out before newspapers ran wild with their giant penguin theories.
Wow.
So yeah, it was all a hoax. There was somebody had a 15-inch footprint cast iron that made giant penguin prints on the Florida beaches to prank everybody. So hilarious, actually. But I just thought it was that's a very Florida thing, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So,
Why
but
would
yeah,
there even be penguins in Florida?
right on the beach. Like, come on,
They would not
but
be
so
happy
funny.
here.
No. So, but yeah, that's all I got. So, any last comments
Awesome.
or anything before
Any
we?
comments, concerns?
Any comments, concerns, questions?
Not for me.
No, just if you guys have any cool little stories that you heard growing up or whatever, please just drop a comment on our Facebook or even on wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See
like
if
your
we've heard
most
of yours.
popular myth or legend near you. Yeah, your town, city, state. country,
And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll feature it in one of
Region.
our next episodes that we do.
Yeah, you never know.
Until then, we will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out and listening. We appreciate all the support. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
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 That's it for this episode of the 28th Angle Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to follow and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Follow us on our socials at the 28th Angle Podcast for more updates and behind the scenes content.
Until next time, keep looking at life from every angle.
Especially the 28th.